What's up, fam? Thanks for tuning in once again to this channel, a great place where you can get the latest strategies and techniques on digital marketing post COVID-19. Now, before I say anything else, I want to make this clear. I am not making this video to esteem myself higher than anybody in the digital marketing field. At the end of the day, there's a lot of intelligent men and women that are digital marketers that have put in the time, they've put in the work, they put out the results, they have the credentials to support their name and their work, and credit is given to where it is due. So I want that to be clear. Also, I'm making this video because at the end of the day, there's also a lot of people that are speaking out on this topic on YouTube. So I feel a little comfortable to come out and give my 2 cents on the matter, because I'm not gonna lie, I was actually asked about this topic and I was a little hesitant at first to make a video about it, because at the end of the day, I am using this moment to really challenge how someone else is making their money. And it's a little touchy to do that, especially this day and age with COVID-19 and how we all are trying to survive literally and take care of ourselves and our family. But at the same time, there is a little bit of issues that arise when someone is using something unethically to make money. And that's where I want to be like the other group of people that have spoken out on this and go against that trend. And also, I hope that if you're watching this video, that you're someone that is not invested into one of those gurus just yet, so you can look at this so that you can make an informed decision on what is best for you and your family. So in this video, what I'm going to do is break down the strategies and techniques that these digital marketing gurus use, the target person or audience that they are targeting, because believe you and me, they do have a person that they are targeting, which is why some of these gurus are really effective in their marketing efforts to get people to invest into these classes. But I will give you another warning. This video is going to be a tad on the long side, so you might want to get comfortable. So grab your laptops, tablets, and phones. Let's do this. So first of all, why exactly in the world are we seeing so many people come online and interrupt our precious time to see the videos that we most duly enjoy with a YouTube ad about digital marketing, drop shipping, and passive income and all this stuff? Because right now, specifically right now, in this time period that we're living in, this is actually one of the most strongest time periods for the internet and the growth of e-commerce. Matter of fact, there are statistics that show that the growth of e-commerce and the growth of users on the internet is pretty much on an upward trend, and it's actually not going to go down. It's going to keep on going up. These digital marketing gurus know this. They've done their homework too, which is why they've come up with these strategies and these classes and these programs and these magic formulas to pretty much speak to these people that are trying to get in on the pie of making money through the internet. Now, like I said earlier, there's a lot of men and women out here in the digital marketing field that has put in the time, work, credentials, and everything else to be effective digital marketers. But what these gurus are not, these are not skilled people in the digital marketing industry. Matter of fact, some of them even come out and say that they're not digital marketer experts, that they just found this formula and it guarantees to work. And there's a problem with that. Before I even get into their strategies, I just want to enlighten the crowd of viewers that aren't digital marketers, that are possibly looking into invest into these gurus. The problem with the idea of there being one formula that works with everyone in the marketing industry is just not accurate. What they are actually referring to, whether some are aware that they're referring to it, which is a problem, and some of them are not aware to what they're referring to, which is another problem. But what they're referring to is usually the traditional practices of marketing in general. If you look at what a lot of them talk about in a perspective, the sales funnel, this is something that everybody in marketing at least is aware of. And the biggest challenge really in marketing isn't necessarily the top portion where you're getting discovered, the positioning and everything. It actually is when you start to present the value to that target audience. When you actually think about the marketing field, marketers everywhere spend thousands and millions of dollars sometimes to just do research on the consumers, what their demographic is, what their education is like, what's their age, what are some of the things they're interested in, and the list goes on. There's focus groups, there's calls, there's webinars, there's so many things that marketers do just to simply learn about the consumer. The idea that you can learn something that works for everybody, like I said, is not accurate. Because if that being the case, then marketers wouldn't have to worry about trying to win the consumer over the competition. So when you look at these gurus, they will have a webinar. Matter of fact, their webinar is going to be positioned in the ad that you saw on YouTube. And if they don't have a webinar, they have a video, but a lot of times they use a webinar. And they usually talk about basic marketing techniques. I've seen some that has talked about making sure you get surveys for local businesses. I won't give out names because that's not going to call out people, but I've done a little bit of homework and I've kind of watch some of these videos with these digital marketers gurus. So some of these guys have things like, hey, if you're positioned just right to that right target, you'll win $4,000 a week. If you have the surveys, you'll win this. If you have, this, you'll have that. And guys, at the end of the day, those are all basic marketing techniques. Like I said, the real moneymaker is the research. And I made a video talking about the 10 mistakes digital marketers make. And the first thing that I said was the biggest mistake that digital marketers can make is not doing their research. Because at the end of the day, us as marketers, it's our job to not only present whatever we're offering to that target audience, but also present something that's valuable to them so that that audience can connect with the brand and remain loyal and stay connected and nurtured and stay in that process. So when we look at the demographic of who they're targeting, we got to look at how they're using the marketing process. And this is where, like I said, it gets problematic because some of these actually are people that are in the sales and marketing field and have a little bit of experience and know what they're doing. Like I said, the value of marketing is knowing what's valuable to that consumer. They flip it around and they put it on you. When they use words that is focused on passive income, you can do this while staying home. You can make this without even, leaving your house, or you can become a six-figure earner and stuff. These are all things that is targeted to the Generation X category. I'm gonna get straight into it. This is why the Generation X audience is targeted in the process. They're targeted because out of all the generations, the millennials and the baby boomers, your generation, if you're a Generation Xer, you were born after the year of 1965 up to the year 1980. So if you are a Generation Xer, you actually, according to the statistics, have the highest post-tax income than any other generation. This is all statistically proven. This isn't my gut. This isn't emotion. This is what has been done from people that do field market research. So I'm not taking credit for it at the same time, because at the end of the day, somebody else did the hard work to do this research. I'm just presenting it to you. So with that being stated, you having the highest post-tax income, there's also proof in statistics that show that you spend the most money actually when it comes to educational investments, extracurricular activities, and so on, pretty much to make extra income. So with that being stated, your generation, if you're a Generation Xer, you are probably someone, by now you're probably somewhere in your 50s, because if you were born after 1965 up to 1980, you're somewhere in your 50s or late 40s. So you more than likely are going to be someone that has kids. They're probably by the age of close to getting grown or are grown. Or you are someone that's married and you're someone that is probably nearing retirement or getting to that idea of starting to retire. So what happens when you get close to that idea of starting to retire? You have kids that are grown, some maybe getting ready to get out the house, or some are already out the house. You need to do things. You need time. You need extra income, because you're not going to be making what you're making. See what I'm saying? That's the example right there of things that are valuable to you. These guys have done their homework and they have pretty much gotten the idea of what's valuable to you. So that's why they position those things, say those phrases to you to make it be visible to you at the same time. Now, here's something also to think about as well. When you're going into these webinars and you've watch the video or whatever it is, not only do they position the benefits of getting about $10,000 a week. And let's just go down that road for a second. We've all seen it, guys. We've seen the stories of people getting the Aston Martins and Lamborghinis. We've seen the stories of people, living in Abu Dhabi and in Dubai, drinking on tequilas and Mai Tais. I've even seen, there's even been people that has come out the woodwork and realized that those stories and lies are getting kind of played out. And they start to use the idea of just being the plain regular Joe the plumber and make these videos that are average and say, I'm not a millionaire or whatever, but I can help you make a lot of money with this formula. And like I said, if you look at those videos, a lot of times when they say I've learned this one thing or I've learned this secret trick, I'm gonna tell you that's a lot of baloney, because it goes back down to the digital marketing process in and of itself. It's a lot more than just one trick. It's a whole lot more than that. So if you're watching this video and you're someone that's trying to make an informed decision on whether you should invest into these digital marketing gurus, and you're hearing everything that I'm saying starting to line up with things that you've been hearing, hopefully you've gotten my message by now. But if you haven't gotten my message by now, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Don't do it. There's so many. Don't spend a couple hundred to a couple grand. That's what the range of these classes are. Like I said, I've done my research. Most of these classes range from $100 all the way up to $3,000. Don't spend that type of money on some regular person that you don't know that is pretty much selling a bunch of quite honestly, a bunch of lies to maybe an insecurity of not knowing about how marketing works. There's actually more things on the internet for free that you don't have to spend anything on to get results with, to learn about marketing, even to learn how to do research. There's a couple of things that I would encourage you to check out. Matter of fact, if you go to Stanford University's online website, they actually have free college courses. And these free college courses are on practically every major, but I would specifically encourage you to go over to the business major and into the marketing major. There's courses on that. If you want to spend some money, I would encourage you to look at possibly a technical school or even a college for that matter, because you don't have to go for a degree. You can just go for a certification. And that's the other issue about these classes and this training. The trainings and classes and courses that these gurus have are all based off of a limited time process. If you look at marketing, if you're someone that has gone to college for digital marketing or marketing in general, you would be aware of this, but not every single person would be aware of this. When you go to the American Marketers Association website, you can verify this for yourself. You'll be able to see the definition of marketing. And after you read that definition, you'll see a cited quote approved in 2017. That's because the definition of marketing was actually different at one point. It was one thing in 2007, it was another thing in 1985, and it keeps on changing over time. And the reason why it changes is because the culture of marketing changes with the consumer trends. The philosophy of buying has changed. If you don't believe me, think about what we're going through right now with COVID-19. Right now, small businesses and even corporations are getting much craftier with how they present their businesses online. And the consumer has changed their mind on what's considered to be a qualified purchase. So if you thought I was lying to you, that's an example right there. We're doing it differently. And that being the case, the name of marketing changes. So the idea that you're going to learn this one magic bullet, this one magic bullet that's going to hit the target, well, I give it to them. You might actually hit the target, but it's going to be what? It's because the thing is, over time, and the time is never ever guaranteed. Like literally, it could be in a short period of time when that definition is going to change. But literally, if you spend a couple $100 to $1,000, on a course that's going to practically be obsolete, then that's a couple $100 to $1,000 in the hole. And I'm hoping you're that individual that's watching this that's saying, you know what, Jasper, I agree with you, because I do have the extra income to invest into something, but at the same time, a couple $100 to a couple $1,000 isn't something that I want to throw away, and it's not laying around in the backyard anywhere. So I'm glad you're watching this video, and I'm here for you, and I want you to know, once again, don't do this, because if you invest into like a certification with a college, most marketing programs at most colleges in America, I can't speak for other places, but for most marketing programs, most of them even offer continuing education for free, because of the simple fact that the marketing efforts and strategies changes over times. Like even me, like I'm working on my master's right now in digital marketing at Full Sail University. I've been at school for a long time, at Full Sail University, and they even offer free continuing education. So if you wanted to spend that money, there's ways you could spend that money, and it can be effectively, you could get an effective return on it. But if you invest into these gurus, you're going to invest into something that's probably something you can get for free or get somewhere else on YouTube, for that matter. You're going to invest into something that's going to be time limited. And then on top of that, you more than likely will not get the results that they are proposing to you. So that being stated, these are things that you want to definitely think about. And these are things that I would just encourage you to, at the same time, check out other videos for. I'm not the only one that's talking on this. Matter of fact, there's even videos of people that have invested into these programs and gotten ripped off, and they've made videos pretty much saying, hey, this is what this person told me and this is what happened. Don't do it. So I'm not the only one here. So what I would encourage you to do, after you watch this video, is check out some other videos, and at the same time, I hope you like this video at the same time. So if you like this video, what I would encourage you to do is just hit that like button. If I added value to you in this moment, I would just encourage you to hit the subscribe button and share this video. Hit the share button and share it with somebody else. Share it with somebody that you know, or someone else that may possibly not be aware of these issues with these digital marketing gurus. So that's all I got for you guys today. Until next time, stay tuned for greatness.